This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back to the show. Dr. Scott Solomon joining us here from Recover Float Spa, and we're excited that he's here, hoping you all want to take that plunge with us as well. So we're excited that you're here with us today, excited to find out more about all that you have to offer, and of course, get to know you on a personal level. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. And yourself?
I'm doing much better, thank you. We got to talk a little off air, so I appreciate you asking about my family and all that we went through today. You know, sick children, it happens to all of us. So again, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, so let's get started. First and foremost, tell us a little bit about yourself before we begin.
Okay, so I am 56 years old. I've been practicing in alternative healthcare for a little over 26 years.
Wow.
And um, I've gone through some trials and tribulations where I've herniated a few discs in my back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually a chiropractor first,
Yes.
and we work on people from maintenance care all the way up to people that have been injured in auto accidents or at work. We take care of newborns. I just adjusted a 6 week old yesterday,
Oh my
as
goodness.
as well as all the way up to my oldest patient is 90 years old.
Wow. Wow. And we're going to talk more about the wellness and the floating, the infrared sauna, the cold plunge, and all that you have to offer in just a moment. And thank you again for being here and for joining us. And clearly, what an amazing background you have. Would you mind just sharing a little bit about where you grew up and, what got you into school, thinking you want to become a doctor? And yeah, if you don't mind just sharing a little bit about that journey, and then we're going to get into more of the services you provide and talk a little bit about this sanctuary for healing that you can provide us with.
Very cool. Thank you. So I used to suffer from headaches so bad that migraine headaches, I'd have to pull over to the side of the road. And before I knew it, I was on tons of medications. And someone told me about chiropractic care. So I went to a doctor, and after a few months, they completely resolved themselves. And I said, you know what? This is what I want to do. I'm not someone who is interested in, I do not like blood. So this kind of fit in with my realm of being able to help people. I went to chiropractic school in Atlanta. Prior to that, I'm a Penn State grad. And I also went to University of New York and got a Bachelor of Science there in Albany, actually. And I've been on the health journey ever since. And I herniated a few discs in my practice a few years back, and I couldn't work and had to sell my last practice. I got some stem cell
Wow.
surgery where they took my own stem cells and they re-injected them back into my body. And that, believe it or not, gave me about a 6 month window. So I was able to rehab.
Wow.
And after that, I bought this place right before COVID happened. So I bought a really cool spot in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. I gutted the place completely. And we decided initially that we were going to have a float spa on one side, and then we were going to have a doctor's office on the other side. I got so busy on the chiropractic side that I decided to, sorry about that. I
Okay.
decided to let the spa go because I had never run a spa before. I didn't know what people were looking for. I didn't know the little ins and outs of maintaining spa patients. Um, I only knew how to, take care of patients that were in pain. So I kind of let the spa part go, just putting my patients into some infrared and floating. And I listened to what some of the complaints were that people wanted in a sanctuary. And as time came along, about a year ago, I said, you know what? I have this whole other side of my building that I'd like to make use of. And I want to get back into helping
Wow.
people with more than just chiropractic care and aquatic therapy that we do as well, and a whole bunch of good alternative healthcare. So about a year ago, I decided to gut the entire side. We put in all new lighting. We put in Bluetooth lighting, non-skid floors in our float spa so that people would be able to have grip. And then I started to get into the plunge craze. So I learned about cold plunge. So I went on a quest to find what I believed to be a superior product of plunges. And then I learned about contrast therapy. And once I learned about contrast therapy, I was addicted because it is the most magnanimous treatment for your body, in my opinion, that you can do in a relatively short period of time. And that's what I created. We put in projector systems. And if you're cool with it, I'm going to pick my computer up and give you a little tour so you can
I
actually
would
see.
love to. Absolutely. And by the way, did you just have the grand opening? Did you recently just open?
We did. We opened about 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
and it's my office manager and myself and some part-time staff that we have. And I'm working out all of the little kinks of, opening a new business in the very beginning. And I'm so excited because when you see the place and the response that we've gotten, it's like nothing that you've seen because everything is in its own private suite.
Oh my goodness. Look at this. But this is beautiful. Your heart, your soul, your passion. Here it is. And congratulations on all the success. And this looks amazing. I got to Google how far is Doylestown from Holtzville, Long Island, where I live?
Mhm.
This is beautiful. Oh my goodness. And everything, you left no stone unturned. Wow. Okay. There's so much to talk about here. And can we get to some of the benefits of these certain services in particular? I heard a little bit, but as I mentioned, it was breaking up a little bit when it came to you were talking about the veins and going the hot, the cold, and the inflammation. Can we talk specifically, starting with whichever modality you want? What is it good for? What does it help us with?
So I would start with, first off, contrast therapy, which is a
Okay.
combination of infrared sauna for the heat and then cold plunge for the cold.
Okay.
So we were talking about the term before, vascular gymnastics. So when you go into something that's hot, it's going to dilate or vasodilate your blood vessels. And when you go into something cold, it's going to vasoconstrict or constrict your blood vessels. So one's going to open it up and another one's going to close it. So the benefits that you're going to get from this particular type of contrast therapy is it's great for muscle recovery. It's
Wow.
great for the inflammatory process. Infrared sauna by itself, long-term usage of this,
Mm-hmm.
there's been studies from the Cleveland Clinic, which will show that if you use this for a certain period of time, that it can help reduce the risk of a cardiovascular event, as well as it can help lower your blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, cold plunging on its own is also a benefit, which helps give you a euphoric feeling. It'll help give you energy. It'll actually help reduce inflammation and increase your or decrease your recovery time. When it comes to people that are athletic, people that work out, or people that just have normal everyday ailments, it's also good. It helps aid in some weight loss. And the studies are coming out more and more as people are getting more and more acclimated with it. Jill, we also offer something that's a little unique, and there's another place out in California that I saw that did this.
Okay.
In the event that you would not be interested in doing contrast therapy just traditionally, you can also float in our float pool and then go into the cold plunge. So
How long do you float for? I've never done this. I used to work in New York City all the time, and my friends would always go float, 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 and I didn't really know what it was like. I just had my kids. I never did it. Explain the process of floating. Wow.
so floating has the benefit of decreasing your blood pressure, helping decrease your blood pressure, as well as it decompresses your body. It's great for PTSD. If you have, you could be 50 pounds or you could be 500 pounds. You're in 1,200 pounds of salt and 10 inches of water in a closed space where we have underwater speakers. You can either put on a relaxing tune, or if some of those people are interested in what we call sensory deprivation. So they used to have these tanks that you would get into, and still some people have them. They close the door and you're in this chamber and it's completely dark. And you actually close your eyes, and after you actually get used to being in there, you can achieve what they call sensory deprivation, where you're in a little bit different state of relaxation where healing begins. The magnesium in the salt penetrates your muscles and allows for your body to relax at an optimal level. So that's the benefit of floating. So we can combine contrast therapy. By definition is hot followed by cold. And then when you start to cycle it, you go back to the hot and then the cold. So the float is about 95 degrees. Some people like it at 94. The infrared sauna, you're going to be anywhere between 140 and 160. The cold plunge goes down to 37 degrees and it goes up to about 59 degrees, but you will get virtually the same benefit if you are between 50 and 58 degrees as you would at 37. So because the circulating water and the pressure point jets are in these particular units that we actually have, it will aid in your optimal benefit for this type of therapy. Because again, I was trying to say before, when you're hot and you get into something cold, your body is going to create a little bit of a thermal barrier. Because the circulating water and the pressure point jets help circumvent that, and it makes it easier for you to accept the cold faster.
Amazing. You're teaching me so much, and faster recovery we're talking about. We're going to also dive more into detoxification, as you mentioned. And what is the vascular gymnastics? I was reading your notes earlier. I was laughing. That was a term I never heard yet.
So you know what? I wish I could tell you that I coined it, but I love it, and I'm using it because it actually is the first term that explains to people, wow, what is vascular gymnastics? So it's the act of dilating and then constricting. So in your infrared sauna, one of the goals with, as I was trying to explain before, when I so erroneously moved the screen around, and you couldn't hear, we have different programs for relaxation, for pain. Some people like to go in there to help with their allergies because it's a dry heat like Arizona. And it's really good with taking toxins and releasing toxins. And we all have toxins in everything that we do. A lot of the things that we drink, a lot of things that we eat, and the infrared sauna helps release those toxins. And after they're sitting there and they're quote unquote out in the open, you then go into the cold plunge and it helps to get rid of the toxins. Then you go back in and you do what's called a cycle of contrast therapy. You go back into the heat. So you'd be about 15 to 20 minutes in the infrared sauna. Then you'd go anywhere from 1 minute to 5 minutes in the cold plunge. Mm-hmm. Then you would go back in to the infrared sauna for about 10 minutes to 15 minutes. And then you'd end in the cold plunge. And you can cycle usually 2 to 3 times within the hour. And those are the kind of sessions that we have for the beginners. We tell them to use a half an hour in the beginning. So you're just going in each one of them once. And when you start to get a little more acclimated, then you can cycle a little bit further. And it is an absolute blessing, this therapy, but it's not for everyone. So there are some contraindications as well. So if people, have any type of heart condition, it's hard on the body because you're going from one extreme to the other. So we tell people if they have any type of kidney issue, any type of liver issue, any type of
Mm-hmm.
organ issue, or if they have a heart condition, contrast therapy is not for them. However, float therapy may be good for that person, or just plain, when I say plain, or just infrared on its own.
Beautiful. Now you also, I noticed there's all different package deals and there's even like memberships, right? You can buy a monthly membership to whichever service you want, more bang for your buck in a sense. This is cool. Could you just share a little about how that works?
Yeah, so my goal when I was creating this spa is I wanted to make it to have the most technology that I could find and to share. And I wanted to do it at a reasonable price. And the way that buying individual sessions, it's a great way to learn about the therapy, but we give people a first time plunge, which is only $15. A first time 30-minute contrast session is $30. A first time 60-minute session is also discounted as well. Um, at the end of the story, we are so grateful to be able to give these types of opportunities to people that want to experience top of the line equipment supervised by people who have been using this type of equipment. I mean, I've researched this stuff for so many months before I finally picked it. I had to offer a membership plan. You can mix and match our float with we have a monthly float where you get a cold plunge. We have unlimited infrared, and I say unlimited, but it's about 12 sessions a month. You can go 3 times a week. They can go up to 45 minutes. So we usually charge $1 a minute for our infrared sauna. When you buy a package of 12, which I believe is $240 a month, comes out to about $20 a visit. So you're paying half of what you normally would be. And it makes it affordable for people. If you're going to benefit from these types of therapies, you have to do it on some type of a consistent basis. There are those people that like to go out and float, a girl's night out, guy's night out, they want to go and float with their friends, and that's great. You'll get a benefit from that, but to really benefit, you have to be on some type of a consistent basis, like infrared sauna 2 to 3 times a week. Some people do it more. Cold plunge, at least 2 times a week. Some people do it every day. So we wanted to make it affordable, which is why we had packages that we put together.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And we still have 2 more minutes left in the show. I'm not cutting you short. This is exciting. What else do we want to make sure we cover here for your first show with us? And by the way, congratulations on all this. I mean, wow. And I know you also mentioned at the beginning of the show as a chiropractor that you're working on people of all different ages. But I just got to ask this. When it comes to ages, in regards to this side of things on the holistic side of the spa, we know, do you treat babies with float or this is for like adults only?
No, no, no. It's definitely for adults only.
Okay.
Um, we do not treat infants or babies or children with float as long as you're over uh, 14 years of age, which is what we like to do. We want to make sure we have a whole list of contraindications. If you're in there, even though you're only in 10 inches of water and 1,200 pounds of salt, that would be counterproductive to have an infant in there, but very productive to have kids over 14 years of age. In your floating or infrared, I have kids that go in there for allergic reactions that they have as well. I have a patient that actually goes in there that had mold poisoning from his
Wow.
home, and he goes in there multiple times a week, and it helps detoxify him. So it's pretty cool. I'm very grateful to have these types of therapies to help people with these ailments.
Oh, absolutely. And what do you love most about, your profession, about helping people, and especially now going as far as helping them with these services? I mean, clearly you must love what you do. Could you just share a little insight into some of the clients you're working with, what they're saying about you and your
Yes.
services? Hard to talk
So
about yourself, but come on, give us some good stories. We like hearing client testimonials.
So I have patients that have lowered their blood pressure, that have decreased inflammation in their body. I have fibromyalgia patients that benefit from the infrared sauna. We also, on the chiropractic side, we do aquatic therapy on an aquatic treadmill. So I have patients that can't walk, barely can walk. I have one patient who uses a walker, or did when she came in here, just to get around. She's almost running in my aquatic therapy, which is really cool. She also goes into the infrared sauna. I have a patient with PTSD that go into the float. It helps them relax, decompress. We've had so many success stories, and you'll hear them all over the internet. These are proven methods of healing that are so beneficial, and I'm so grateful. What do I like best about it? I like it that I finally have it up and running, and I can offer them at a reduced price and give them the care that I've always wanted to.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate it. Great having you here. Excited to get to know you. And thank you. This is awesome stuff. Congratulations.
Jill, thank you. And I have two adjectives for you: fabulous and wonderful.
Thank you. And hold on. How do we contact you? What is the website, phone number, social media pages?
Okay. So we are, it's Recover, RECOVER, coldplunge.com. And our phone number, actually, you can contact us either at recoverfloatspa.com, or you can call us at 267-346-4357. On Instagram, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. So bear with me here. I wasn't prepared for this question because it is also new to me as well. All of these new ways. We are on Instagram, we are reco.ver904.
Perfect.
All right. So on Facebook, we are, it's Recover Float Spa by itself. And that's pretty much the way to get a hold of us.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Pleasure getting to know you today. Excited that you're here with us, and hopefully we'll get to connect again. Thank you so much.
You have a great day, Jill.
You too. Bye-bye. Thank you.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.